Hey there everyone, this is Sam from Nintendi, and I want to welcome you to our first ever YouTube video. Today I want to look at the top 5 upcoming AAA games coming to the Nintendo Switch in 2022, at least the ones we know about so far. And if you've just received a Switch as a present, don't worry, I'll also be doing another video to go with this one, looking at AAA games you should already own on the Switch. So for the first game on the list, I don't think there's any point holding back. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, coming to the Switch at some point in 2022. We don't really know much about the game at the moment. We do know Breath of the Wild, the original, is probably one of the best games ever made. It's definitely one of my favourite ever games. We can see here Breath of the Wild 2, it takes a lot of inspiration from that first game, but we can see there's new abilities as well. You can stop time, which looks very cool. You can shoot fire, you can travel through things. Like, we don't know how these will work in a game yet. Nintendo has not shown us very much at all, but we can see Hyrule is very different. There's a lot of floating islands, I want to say. You can see Hyrule Castle here has been sent up to the clouds. If you've played Skyward Sword, the recent re-release, maybe that was preparing us for what's to come in Breath of the Wild 2 here, which I should note is not the official title. We don't know the official title of the game yet. It might not be Breath of the Wild 2. We'll just have to wait and see next year. Now the next game on the list, it's another classic franchise and another similarly big change to the series. It's Pokemon Legends. It's either Arceus or Arceus, but if you're from the UK you probably won't say Arceus. But you can see here it's a beautiful open world. There's sea, there's forest, there's mountains, there's snow. It's a very big change from the previous Pokemon games by the looks of it. It looks like the Pokemon games that I've been dreaming of personally since I was very small playing Pokemon Red and Blue. It looks open world, you can go anywhere, you can ride Pokemon. It's got different environments. Pokemon live outside in the environments. You can capture them, fight them wherever you are. It looks like there's great verticality to the environments as well. Having said all that, I don't think this is a truly open world game. I think there are 4 or 5 large areas which you explore, but you can't go through them without connecting like you would in, say, Zelda Breath of the Wild. But you can see here, like, there's a warden system. I think these guys will give you the missions in each area. I think each warden will be responsible for an area. They'll give you a mission to catch a legendary Pokemon or solve a problem that a Pokemon is causing, and a lot of the plot and drive of the game will come from this. Obviously there'll be tons more to do than that, but I suspect that that will be the basic structure of the game. Alongside, of course, trying to fill your Pokedex up with every single Pokemon. I think the promotions for this game says that you are actually making the first ever Pokedex, but it's not been revealed yet how many Pokemon will be in this game and how many Pokemon you'll need to discover to fill that Pokedex. And of course it wouldn't be a Pokemon game without crazy amounts of customization and crafting. So we're going to see here you can change your hair, change your clothes, update your character, really make them reflect how you want to look, how you want to play. And some of these designs are great, very funny, very different. And of course you can take pictures of your Pokemon, you can pose, like these will be great for sharing, great for your social medias. It just looks very fun. And then of course the action in the game. Let's have a look at this. You can see here Pokemon Nobles. These will be like your big bosses of the game. You go far into the wilderness and you find what's causing the problems, where the wardens have sent you, and you'll deal with it. Not as scary as some of the bosses in Zelda, but you can see it's a bit like you yourself are in danger, which is quite rare for a Pokemon game. Normally you send your Pokemon out there, which now I think about it is incredibly cruel, and maybe it's about time the trainers took some of their heat and got a little hit sometimes. There we go, Oshawott taking the pain. So overall I think this game looks very fun, very promising, and we're going to be able to try it very soon because it's out on January the 28th. And stay tuned for our review. So next up, it's another sequel, but it is something a little bit different from the last 2 games. This is Splatoon 3. Splatoon series, super fun, probably the least famous of the current Nintendo IPs that are having games made of them. I think it was originally released on the Wii U, which probably explains why it's not as famous as some Nintendo properties, but you can see here it's a multiplayer shooter. It's messy. You can have 4 players on each team. jump around these huge arenas, spraying paint everywhere. Each of your characters, who are squids, have abilities. They've got grappling hooks. They can travel through the paint, through the colours. There's different types of weapons, shields, vehicles. It's insane. It's so colourful, so much fun, and just something so different, like you only get on Nintendo platforms. They wanted to make a third-person multiplayer shooter, and they made a third-person multiplayer shooter unlike any other which is out there. Splatoon 3, it looks like an evolution rather than a revolution. It looks like there's going to be more kind of single player elements to this game. It looks like the background of the game world, humans used to exist, but then the world suffered an environmental catastrophe, and now it's populated by aquatic and squiddy fish type creatures. But it looks like this game is teasing the return of mammalian creatures. Whether that's humans or not, we don't know, but there's a little bit of mystery to it. Some of the worlds here look great. There's the Enter the Spider-Verse kind of upside down cities. There's cliffs, canyons, cityscapes. There's rocket launch pads. Maybe they're going to other worlds. We don't know. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm really looking forward to playing it with some friends. I just have to get off the internet and find some friends first. Okay, so now with this next game on the list, it's confession time. I have not played Bayonetta 1, nor have I played Bayonetta 2. But Bayonetta 3 is one of the big AAA games I'm most looking forward to on the Switch this year. Why? Because of this trailer. I've cut out the very beginning of this trailer because the intro is just lots of soldiers shooting guns at a monster. But then we start here with this strange little dog creature, which I think is from Astral Chain, another game. And then Bayonetta comes in. Bam! Giant hand. I have no idea what's happening in this game. I've got no idea who she is. As soon as I saw the trailer though, I wanted to know. It's over the top, fun, kind of anime inspired action. We've got a main character who doesn't make any sense. I'm sure in the game there's some context as to who she is and why she's doing what she's doing, but visually I've not seen anything like it. And then the gameplay, it's guns, it's magic, it's special moves, it's combos, it's a woman with guns for high heels using magic and zombies to fight kaijus and strange robots, and it looks so colourful but apocalyptic. And how does this movie even work? She's punching people with giant hands and giant bullets, and it's just, I have no idea what's going on. I love it completely. You'll probably guess from my commentary right now, I'm not a huge fan of these types of beaten up games. Like, I think I played the old Devil May Cry on the PlayStation 2, but just the amount of variety I'm seeing in this game, and just, what is this? She summoned a dragon to fight this other monster, and now it's like a 2D beaten up, but she's controlling these giant creatures. We're going to smash through the city. It's like a Godzilla movie. Now we've got her controlling this giant bird owl. Like again, I can't stop saying it. I've never seen anything like this. I can't imagine what this will be like to play. There's a spider shooting webs onto the monster, climbing the buildings, eating it up. It's glorious. I mentioned variety though. Like, all of the action seems to take place in one zone. So either the whole game takes place in that one arena, or there's a lot that they're not showing us. Like, look at this. It's the dragon again, sliding down a building with the buildings tearing up. I can't wait to play this game. Bayonetta 3, 2022. And now for the last game I've put onto the top 5 AAA games coming to Switch in 2022 list. Some people might argue this isn't a AAA game in a traditional sense, but it's by Square Enix. They've been promoting this game a lot. They've done a lot of work from the initial demo, taking feedback from players and feedback from reviewers to change and update the game. They've clearly got a lot of faith in it. This is triangle strategy. I personally love Square Enix games. I've been a huge fan since getting Final Fantasy VII on the original PS1. I love these kind of JRPG stories. This looks like it's a tactical RPG with that classic Square narrative in it. It's got these wonderful, they call them HD 2D graphics. It's got this lovely storybook style for the cutscenes here, kind of that Western fantasy setting, you know, which we saw in like Vagrant Story, kind of Final Fantasy IX as well. but I'm very excited for this game. Here you can see the HD 2D graphics I mentioned. Square used these for Octopath Traveler on the Switch, and also they're using a similar style for the upcoming remake of Dragon Quest III. But you see, it just gives you this amazing old school kind of SNES feeling, but brings it right up to modern times. And I think the mix and the angle just so unique and so lovely to look at, and so dynamic as well. You see the camera movement there. You can see Square even very proud of the HD2D style. They're giving it its own logo there, its own showcase. I think what makes me so interested in this graphical style is actually how much it looks like Grandia. If anyone remembers Grandia from the Sega Saturn or PS1, one of my top RPGs, which does have a HD remake available on the Switch at the moment. But yeah, it's just a style you don't see too often. I love that it's come back. I love that these games still exist. I think these strategy games work really well on the Switch, work really well in a handheld format. If you're travelling, like getting a flight or on a train, you can really just sit down, focus, and just wage war while you're on your way to somewhere. That's something you can't do on the PlayStation 5, you can't do it on the Xbox Series S or X or whichever it's called now. Just like the games on this list, that's an experience you can only have on the Nintendo Switch. So these are my top 5 upcoming AAA games coming in 2022 on the Nintendo Switch. These are the ones we know about. This list will change as the year goes on. I'm sure there is a lot more to come for the Nintendo Switch. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.